Hello guys, and welcome to a new GTK HeaderBar widget tutorial. In the last tutorial we were talking about how we can move a window, so basically how we can drag it from its position to another position if you want to move it and so on. One thing which I didn't pay attention, but I think you already noticed, was that when I was talking about the structure of the button, so GTK event button, I was talking about those two parameters, but those two was wrong. Those two belong to something else. We are going to talk about those in another video. Basically we are going to explain all these things in a better way. Until then you should know that it was about this one right here. Okay, so that being said, now what we are going to do today, let's see, let me compile it and run the program again. As you can see, we can move this window, we can maximize it and minimize it from the button, but what happens if you decide to drop those buttons? So basically, let me hide the GTK HeaderBar set show close button. So basically now, if you try to maximize your window, well, you can't, or at least you cannot without hitting Alt and then the middle button when you have a maximize position chance. But what happens if you decide to disable those key bindings for your application? Then you need to provide for your user a way to, if you want to provide, of course, a way to can minimize and maximize. So this is what we are going to do today. For this we are going to expand a little bit our program, basically our function, our click it function. We are going to expand it. Like I said in the last video, you can use a switch case for event type, and then you can check for the GTK button press event, and of course you can check for the other one, or you can use an if statement like me now, and this time we need a double button press. So this means if event type, type, it is a GTK GTK double button press right here. So now we are going to say if this event is a double, then we need to maximize our window or minimize. So basically there are two functions. Let me go back to GTK window. There are those functions, GTK window maximize and unmaximize. So ask to maximize the window so that it becomes in full screen. Note that you shouldn't assume that the window is definitely maximized afterward, because other entities, example the user or the window manager, could unminimize it again. So I'm going to let you to read all these stories right here from the minimize and unminimize. I'm going to call this function right here, copy. As you can see, it takes one parameter, only your windows. So basically we need only to pass the window argument. We don't need to cast it because we already provide a GTK window and not a GTK widget parameter, and I'm going to return false here. Let me see what happens. So I'm going to double click on it. It works fine. In the middle here it doesn't work. I cannot minimize it back, but you see it's working. So I'm going to use the Alt and minimize to send it right there. I wanted to unminimize use. Okay, so I'm going to close the window now. So for this, to have this behavior, we can do in there are a lot of ways to do it. I'm going to use a static G Boolean flag right now, but you can use whatever. I'm going to set it to false, and now we can say if the flag is equal to false, and it is, because we said okay, I need to move it back. So, and it is, so this means our window is not maximized, because we know it's not, we create it. Then we can call our GTK window maximize, and then we say else. I hate this. Else we are going to say GTK window unminimize, so unmaximize, basically this one right here. And this time we are going to set we need to set our flag. So flag, we are going to set it to true, because it is true now, is maximized, so that we can match this case. And now we are going to set it to false, because once that we set it to unmaximize, we should inform our flag variable that it is went back to its original size. So I'm going to compile it and run it and see what happens. So double click, it works fine, as you can see. Of course you can use for example gprint window is maximize is, or whatever. It's your decision. What are you using now? I'm going to copy it and paste it right here, and I'm going to say mini or the let us don't change the name. So okay, I'm going to use a tab right here, and now let's see what happens. Maximize, minimize, Windows maximize, unmaximize. So basically it works fine. As you can see, we can catch the signal and print into our consoles as well, so we can log it for some other changes. Okay, so basically this is everything which we need to know about how we can manipulate our window, which means how we can minimize and maximize it, or how we can drag it or move it from one position to another one. This is very important for us if we decide to create our own program flow. Okay, thank you guys for watching. If you like it, please subscribe, share with your friends and neighbors, and until next time, see you guys.